Minutes?
Yes.
Do I motion to approve the minutes from November 3rd? Terry seconds, all in favor? We had a special session, as we all know, on November 21st. We have a motion to approve the minutes from the special session.
To approve the minutes from the special session.
Seconds. All in favor of approving those minutes? Aye. Look at us. Getting right to it.
We're cruising.
Cruising. Public comment. Do we have any public comment? Did we get anything?
Where do you go to submit public comments?
Office at kchs.org.
Is there also a form?
Or you could send written comments.
I'm not sure if the form is on the website. And then if ever anybody was here, we also have comment cards.
Yes.
Just to clarify, the website does say there's a public comment period at every meeting, committee members are given 2 minutes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you cannot be present, email to office@kca.org.
Okay. Okay. Cody has resigned from the board following our special session. And so we have formally accepted his resignation. It was nice of him to come in and say some nice things. That felt good. Yeah, that felt good to you guys. Yeah, he will be missed, and I guess we're gonna want to look around for another board member. But we do have Sally coming on in the future, so it's not. I think she's gonna be a really great, strong one.
Who's Sally?
Sally was a teacher at Evergreen for quite a while. She was at the Dome School for a while. She's been an educator for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
She's retired now, and she's just a fountain of information and very kind, very smart lady. I believe she has some grant writing skills also, which is something we could really use on board.
Yeah, people with background in education are
Yeah,
really good to have.
She really has she's a really great resource for us, so I'm looking forward to her joining. Yeah, I think it's unfortunate that Cody has resigned, but I understand it, and we're just gonna move on.
Should we have a resolution to formally accept, like vote to accept the
Yeah, I
resignation?
was wondering, is that something we need to do? Do we need to vote on accepting his resignation?
It's worth-
I'm gonna make a motion to accept Cody's resignation. Are we all in favor of that? Okay.
I would like to also reach out and to go on record here in the video to thank Cody for his service. For I'm not sure how long. I think it was more than a year, maybe 2 years, something like that.
Close to 2 years. Yeah.
And he was starting to help out on the finance committee as well. So thanks to him, and
Yeah.
best wishes.
Best wishes, and we appreciate his input that we have. Okay, we're moving on to reports. Ryan, I believe you probably have a financial report for us.
I do have a financial report. Take one and pass it on. I'll slide this over towards me, I guess. Hi everyone. If you look at the back side of this, the bottom, you can see our checking and savings account balances as of November 30th. Our checking, we had 36,233. Savings, a bit over 151,000, for a total of $188,025.77. So we're in good shape. we're looking good. On the front side of this, you'll see this is our statement of activity for the month of October. This is how much we spent and how much we took in. At the top of the first page, you'll see that the income for the state school fund that we received from Three Rivers is $57,114.81. And then, as I note every month, one of our biggest costs is labor, which is true of most organizations. A couple interesting things on this one. The food manager salary on the back side is actually double what it usually would be. So that causes this month to be a little more expensive. And that's because there was a problem with our Gusto payroll processing with our food manager at the beginning of the month. October, and he notified October, but then since everyone gets paid at the end of the month, he also got paid the last day of October. So that's why that line item is double what it usually is, because it includes the September payment around October 1st or 2nd, and it also includes the October payment around October 31st. And you can see also another big expense in this particular month. Further down on that page is the staff development and travel, $5,517. 4 of us went to, I think it was 4 of the teacher leaders went to a conference in Portland, and then 4 of us went to a conference in Michigan, and then I additionally went to a conference in Atlanta. And so October is a time pretty heavy with staff development opportunities and conferences, and so we took advantage of those because we had funding from our CSP grant to be able to do that. So that's another big expense that we won't see another one quite like that for staff development for travel. You can see at the bottom our net income for the month is a negative 19,000. So that means our expenses were the 76,000 when our income was 57,000. So we did spend 19,000 more than we took in. Part of that is the 5,000 in travel, which was grant funded, and also part of that was that extra amount for the food manager. But then also we had a liability insurance payments, and that we tend to pay a large chunk up front during the beginning of our year, and then at the end of the year there's actually no payment for insurance. So there are some costs that end up being extra at this time, but it is something to keep an eye on to see. Oh yeah, we've spent more than we took in. In general, we don't want to do that. But as I've noted before, we have drawn down money from our CSP, the Charter Schools Program Grant, and so it's still. Basically, we're catching up on spending some of the money that we've already received. So we're still, overall, we're still in good shape. Any questions?
No, I don't have any. It looks great. And I really appreciate
Good job, Ryan.
you, Ryan. I really appreciate
Can you go back
to
because we didn't finish addressing the other part about Cody's resignation, which is that we currently have no treasurer.
oh, that's right. We were gonna address that as part of that. Going backward to Cody's resignation, that leaves us without a treasurer, which is a position that we actually have to fill today to go forward. I was kind of hoping to invite Amanda to do it, but she is out ill. So we were kind of wondering if you until April, which is our next, the time that we can.
That's our next
What
annual.
is
Our
that
next annual
entail?
meeting. Signing some paper that Ryan will walk you through. It's not very hard or complicated, and he's
As long as I don't
very,
have to balance the
he's
books
very,
like
very-
Ryan does.
he does all the balancing of the books, and you just look over what he's done and talk to him about it.
Until you feel confident doing it.
Yeah, and then you can, but
Okay.
I will also
Well,
add,
honored to be asked. I was like.
that's what happens when you're late, is you get.
yeah.
You'll never be late again.
That's right.
Also, we have recently started trying to kind of organize, professionalize our finance committee. For the last few years, it's mostly been me doing things. We also have had periodic meetings with the small finance committee that included Kenny and Carla Gillard and Kenny Huck have been helping us out, but it's been pretty seldom. Like I think the three of us, me, Kenny, and Carla, have met maybe 4 times in 2 years. And I'm wanting it to be more of a regular thing with minutes and reports, and part of this comes out of the audit asking me for these things. Where's the minutes for your finance meetings? And where should and so it's kind of, and also one thing we hear from the audit this year and last year, and I'll talk about the audit in a moment, is one person having too much control over the system, and so wanting there to be more oversight. And I think having more of a finance committee instead of just me, except when I call Carla and Kenny and say, let's try to meet. And so we did actually have our first meeting a week or so ago. And there were 5 of us there. Our bookkeeper was present as well. And Cody, our treasurer at the time, was there. And I would appreciate if, and in fact, our bylaws say for committees that a board member needs to be a part of it. And so, you know, to me, the finance committee, it makes sense if the treasurer is at those meetings. Our plan is quarterly, except for January, February, March, because that's when we're putting the budget together for the next year. So then it would be monthly. So basically January, February, March, and then I think May, and then August, and then December. So essentially, you know, monthly, 1 meeting a month for January, February, March.
I'll do my best. I can commit to those meetings, yeah. Too bad Daniel, I don't have Daniel's brain.
You can come.
Finance.
You could be part of it. That'd be
You
great.
could be part of the finance.
Maybe, I'll try.
That'd be great. So it sounds like maybe someone wants a motion for you to be our
Okay.
Somebody has to do it.
I mean, and then,
Yeah. Actually, so that's where we're at.
Terry? I was teasing. Yeah, no, thank you for asking.
I would motion that the board accept Kelly's volunteering. Our trash.
I would second that. Are we all in favor?
Alright.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gently.
Gently inserted it, it just happened that way.
Okay.
Perfect timing.
I'll come with you to the finance.
And maybe on the January meeting, we're all here, we should discuss the finance committee again. With hopefully Sally's input, Amanda will be here.
And in fact, there's something about it later on in the year.
Okay,
As well.
cool.
Okay.
That's
Should we go back to the?
Yes, that's our financial reports.
Sorry about the backward.
That's all good. Hello again. So just the last thing I have is I want to share, if you pass this around, this is a draft memorandum from our auditors for the audit that we are currently in process of concluding. And unlike last year, when there was a material weakness or significant deficiency noted, and we had to come up with a management letter in response, this one does not notice any, they have not found a material weakness or significant deficiency. If you look at the backside, there's definitions for those. You'll see there's 4 things, you know, that findings. That, you know, if they find something that they don't like, they call it a material weakness. That's the worst. Or a significant deficiency. And then if they find things they kind of don't like, they put that under the best practice and the exit comment. And if you look here on the front side, you will see best practice, best practice, best practice, best practice, and on the back side, exit comment. So no material weakness, no significant deficiency. That means we do not need to send an action plan to the state. So this looks good. They actually did send me an earlier draft that included language that said that they found that we do not have oversight over things like payroll and reconciliation. And I replied because we did start that process based on the audit the previous year. We now have a process in place where a treasurer or chairperson reviews those things, payroll and the reconciliation. And so they realized that and they deleted that paragraph and sent us out. So overall, take a look at this. This is not the full report. This is a draft of their findings. I don't know what the timeline is for to receive the full report, but from where I sit, I'm happy. This looks good to me.
Not bad. Good.
Great job, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
And that's our audit update.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to community and culture. Do we have an enrollment update?
We did just lose a student last week. Oh, thanks, Ryan. So we still have 9 students in 9th grade, 13, 10th, 20, and 11th, and 18 and 12.
Will you do that for me one more time? Just then, if you just, oh, never mind, I got it.
And then we have 2 students in 11th and 12th grade on the wait list. 11th and 12th grade are basically still full though. so-
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a bummer to lose that student this past week, but it's okay for the format of our school, not that we need everybody's needs.
Yeah. No school needs all students.
Yeah.
That I've ever heard of. Do we have any community connections?
Not anything, oh, actually, that's a lie. So Forest, we had gotten an email from the Forest Service about fire signs. They have a curriculum that they built, where they'll come into the classroom and they teach this fire science course. And so I forwarded that to Forest because that's right in line with geobiology. And so today was the first day that, the Forest Service person was here in the classroom.
Cool.
They're gonna
Super cool.
make mini forests, and maybe I misunderstood, but it sounds like they're gonna set them on fire.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe I misunderstood, right? Don't quote me.
I think I seen the video on Darren's story of her setting a fake tree on
Sick.
fire.
Yes, so very, very cool, very relevant, very place-based,
Cool.
super cool. That is, I would definitely call that a community connection.
Mhm.
But that's all I got.
I have one, but it's not super informative, but I did talk to Amy Luzon about the fact that we were starting our Redwood Foundation that we talked about at the last meeting. And the fact that we were starting that because our students not being at IBHS precludes them from applying for so many grants and scholarships that are available. And she's going to, because it was the only high school. And so when they first wrote the parameters for it, the requirement was that you had to have graduated high school, and out here, that meant that you had to have graduated from IBHS.
So the language
That's
just
still
wasn't
how
there
the
for
language
us.
is in that husband. However, Amy Luzon told me about a grant through here, I'm trying to remember if it's ECTV is it's not the Lions Club. She said that they're pretty much drunken historians and they have this money that never gets used. They have a scholarship that never gets used every year, and it's specifically for trade school stuff. And so she's in the process of getting me the contact information to be able to turn our kids on to something.
Sounds like it might be the Clampers, maybe.
Oh,
That could
maybe.
be the clampers, yeah. I did talk to a fellow just loosely this week who is a welder. And he is retiring from his welding shop over by what are those, Rock and Soil, and he's building a shop at his house. But he might be interested in teaching an intensive on welding maybe next year or something. He definitely thought it would be a good idea, and we kind of talked about how great that would be for kids to get an opportunity to learn that, because there is a welding program at RCC. There is welding work right here in the valley. So it might be a nice segue into a really good job right here in the valley. So that's not something that's happening right now, but it was an interesting conversation. And I thought it's kind of exciting, so yeah.
I'll add one more. At least a few of our students volunteered at the Grateful Hearts Thanksgiving meal in the park. Helping out with the dessert station there, some caramel apples and stuff like that. It was a great event that they put on, and so a few of our students were able to help out.
That's really cool. It was fantastic, kids. Location facilities, do we have a facility update?
Not that I know of. I asked Melissa before she left, and she said that today she changed a light.
Okay.
Should I start, let me ask this, should I start taking facility update off, or is our facility updated?
Yeah, you know, maybe we could take the facility update off, and then when there is one, like, have it back. Careful. Very smart.
Okay, students, you're up with the student report.
Honestly, nothing too crazy, nothing too climactic. We had the, what were we calling it? The Thanksgiving? The gratitude meal, yes.
Yes.
And it was pretty fun. I had a blast. The food was delicious.
Yeah, they read this thing from Braiding Sweetgrass in the beginning. That was fire. It was a little longer than I expected, but it was still good. All the students waited for the teachers to get back to eat their food. Yeah, we tried really hard. It was hard work, guys. Me and Drake are planning on trying to get some students together in a couple weeks and kind of like make a plan of like what we want to improve in this school and like kind of make a list and like, talk about it with students.
We've tried in the past, but they haven't really been, like, I had students come up to me like at school and be like, hey, you should fix this, hey, you should do this, hey, we should talk about this. And then, you know, we do our community classes, the ones that we run, no one really, you know, takes a step forward and helps us out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is often hard to get from, hey, you should, to, hey, here's our plan.
Yeah.
I think that's a very difficult thing.
I'm
So good job
thinking
keeping on.
pizza's gonna be a good bribe. So
Oh, yeah.
You
Roger,
guys are gonna get pizza?
I love Roger.
see, it works already. But yeah, we're gonna hopefully in a couple weeks plan something like that. But everything's been pretty low key. All the students are kind of excited to do Christmas break and sad that the break, you know, we have like Thanksgiving break and then there's like this couple weeks and everyone's like, can we just have Christmas break? So
We all feel that way.
yeah, everyone's kind of in a slump, but you know, everything's good.
Looking forward to, the secret or white elephant.
Oh yeah, white
Oh,
elephant.
yes.
Love white elephant.
One thing I did forget about the community connections, real quick, is that Dutch Bros donated a bunch of gift cards
Oh, yeah.
to the school. We take students over there
Oh,
pretty often, so they gave us like $10 or $15 gift cards.
Oh, wow, cool.
That's fire.
And so we haven't officially talked about it at a teacher leader meeting, but a lot of students last year weren't able to participate in a way that was meaningful in the white elephant gift exchange, and like some people wrapped up trash.
And it made them pretty, yeah.
Yes.
And it made some
pretty
people upset, so a thought that Melissa and I had pretty much right away was that any student who wants to participate in White Elephant but can't afford a gift, we could just throw in a card for them.
That's a good idea.
That is what I do.
On that
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Dutch Bros
hijack your guys' student update.
thing-
you're good.
On the Dutch Bros thing, Xavier, the manager over at the CJ Sam, says that he loves it when we all come down and order
Cool.
And that is
Everybody
the same
does.
whenever we do.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Mhm.
Everybody dances and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were sweet to donate.
That's really sweet.
That is really sweet. It's really cool.
They're feeding our addictions.
Is that what you guys have to say? Are we leaving that?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
Okay, it's staff report time.
Not much to report. I know we're all tired still.
Report is staff is tired.
The report is that staff is tired, yeah. That's it.
Great. Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we
yeah.
really appreciate that. Okay, then fundraising committee report. We today made 20 centerpieces.
Nice.
Yeah,
Smells
also
so
on
good in here.
Wednesday, we're gonna get them all packaged up. And then they're ready for the Dome School Holiday Bazaar. It's coming up weekend, and then also Shannon's doing a photo booth on Sunday only of the bazaar, where they'll take a picture and print it right into one of a colorful holiday frame that the kids designed.
Oh, super cool.
That's, I think, it's $5 suggested donation for that, and I believe we're gonna put that particular money, I think, towards the Redwood Foundation scholarship. And try to get that rolling, because we'd really like to get that going and have it happen this year, so we've got that event coming up this weekend, and hopefully we'll sell all of those and have another good little amount to put into our savings account. I also talked to Tara at the replay, and in January, we're gonna make a plan for the Asian feast. They did it last year as a fundraiser, so we're gonna set up a time for that. We don't know when it's gonna be. We're gonna sit down and map it out, but that will be another future fundraiser towards the senior trip. So that's what I have on the fundraising.
Oh.
We made money, buying groceries too.
Yes.
Yeah, another,
And that was awesome.
that was like another $800 from our, so we paid pretty much $800 both weekends that we had.
And Melissa has another day, there's one day in December that they're doing grocery bagging. And I think it's a Saturday, which is the busier day. And so that Saturdays have generally been a $500 day.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, that's great.
so hopefully that will happen again, and we could have another $1,000 potentially-ish fundraised in December.
Super cool.
So that's super cool. I think it's going pretty great, and I really believe that we're gonna hit our senior trip goal and hopefully the Redwood Foundation goal also. So,
Absolutely.
and I'm really into any kind of ideas that anybody has about more fundraising. You know, this spring, I think it would be really cool if we did an art auction, like a silent art auction.
Totally.
I think that would be really a great way of showing some of the really cool stuff that you guys make.
Mhm.
And getting some community involvement in what's happening here and making some money. So that's something we could talk about and maybe plan for this spring.
We could try and plan laps for Luke too, Lucy, like,
Or bike-a-thon.
I just, it was called, bike-a-thon. Some people don't have bikes, some might want to walk, you know.
Laps for Lou.
That's how it's good.
Yeah.
Or like scooter or like something, but yeah,
Skateboard, I mean,
skateboard, yeah.
however you wanna propel yourself around in a circle.
Wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Segways.
Stroller.
Actually, you know, like,
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
I wonder if we could, cause when is the, what is it called, cause I'm not old enough to have ever partaken in where you build a little car and you push it down.
Oh,
the-
yeah.
Oh, the soapbox.
The
one?
hill.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
soapbox derby. I think they do that and, that's in, I feel like that's like kind of later spring. Because it's like after it's like all crappy, but it's not in the fall. I don't think. I'll reach out to Saul and find out. Saul
That'd be
knows
great,
for
'cause
sure.
it would be cool to have a KCA
Yeah,
one that we have,
Please.
like, we go around the community and have, like, the community, like, sponsor. Go to make the soapbox thing and then be like, well, if we win, will you donate?
We should have a
That would
board
be
member.
yeah, that would be really
Sure.
cool. I love that, actually.
I like that.
That's something Wheels of Turn had, that would be very interesting. sponsoring.
Wheels, the KCA Wheels Turn, as sponsored by Wheels of Turn.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Cute.
And then the other fundraising that we get, like I had, and I'll do some more research and come back to it, is, you know, I see all the time, like the radio station, and like different organizations that are like, donate your car. And I'd like to find out.
Oh, like the rage
I'd like to
smashing?
know like
Yeah.
what those parameters are, like,
Drake, you
does
guys
it
are
have to be a
already
nice
property.
car? Can it be like people bringing in their cars that we're then trading in for scrap metal? Cause you can make a lot of money if you've got a whole car for scrap metal. So I'd like to do a little more looking into that, unless anybody knows off the top of their head. No?
I think that's a great idea, as long as we have a solid plan of how cleanup will go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where it goes
Yeah.
to, because if
Yeah.
you need to get it from point A to point B, that might be something that Daniel would be willing to help with. But if you ask him nicely about trucking things, but it has to be like going to
It
a
has to be
place
a-
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah.
taking it.
Yeah, yeah,
giving you
yeah.
a check.
Yeah,
And like we know for sure, instead of being like, maybe we can scrap it.
right.
But yeah, like Drake, I know several people who have like cars on their
Might as
property.
well say like the some steal some of those.
Steal, You wouldn't even know.
So many
Don't
things.
forget it.
Like,
Well, now he'll know because it's recorded on me.
I'm not too good at describing.
We also were watching videos of musicals and stuff this morning, and I know that like theater is dying to do some kind of production. Lucy was talking about how it'd be cool to do Shrek the musical.
That'd be awesome.
I do think, and of course I have to like talk with Casey about it because she doesn't have any like shortage of things to do or oversee, and there's no way she would not have anything to do with it, but I think a production of something for a fundraiser,
right?
yeah, it would be a fantastic idea.
And you can have concession sales too, and kids could divide those sales up, and could be seed money for each year's senior trip,
Or even
or something else.
getting this stuff, because we have a really nice projector now. If the weather is nice in the springtime or something, doing like drive-in movies somewhere.
that'd be really
Yeah.
fun.
Could we do that at the Rusk Ranch spot, I wonder?
That's a great
Oh.
idea.
Do it in that empty parking lot.
I know, I actually really wanna reach out to the lady who owns that and ask if the students can use it, like if we pay her rent, if the students can use it to park their cars, cause
Yeah.
we're running out of
That would
parking.
be great. Yeah.
We're running out of parking and we lack accessibility to school with some students who don't have the ability to get the proper registration and stuff, so they definitely don't have insurance, so it's probably smarter not to have them parking next to adults' cars and stuff, so. But yeah, if we could do it in the parking lot across the street, maybe if we can get in touch with her in general and just be like, can we rent this space from you? I don't know how much it costs.
Is it the lady that owns Caves? I thought his name
Brian,
was-
do you know what that lady's name is that owns the parking lot across the street?
No.
Something with a shush sound.
Yeah, yeah.
I do believe it's the same lady who owns the tea house Ascension,
Okay,
but I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
Sherry.
yeah. I think it's the same lady, 'cause I think she also owns the Painted Rooster building. And
I think that you're
Pharmacy.
correct. Yeah,
Oh. I don't know.
that's my fundraising
Wow.
brainstorm.
All right.
Okay, cool. Anybody else have any more fundraising? No? Okay, then we're moving on to new business. KCA Oregon Savings Growth Plan. Who wants to talk about that?
Hi, guys. That's this. Oregon Savings Growth Plan. Jack Shafroth from this organization came a week or two ago and met with me and Kayla. What this is another retirement option. So we participate in PERS, which is the Public Employee Retirement System, and it's something where it's automatic. We don't have a say in what the money is spent on or how much we put in. It's like, all right, as part of your salary, we're giving you some of this retirement program. This is basically an optional additional program that's pre-tax. Would allow you to take from your pay each month, those of us who are receiving pay, and put it away in an additional program. It's also one where you have say in what it's invested in. So you can be like, oh, I want it in this growth fund, or oh, I want it in more risky because I'm young, or oh, less risky because I'm old. I don't want it to disappear. And it came to us because Kayla has some funds from a previous job and was looking for a way to kind of transfer it over, and she found this. And I think it's, had a great meeting with this guy, Jack. It seems like a great thing. It wouldn't cost us other than some of my time to kind of do some of the managing. But it would be another option, especially for any staff who maybe want to start putting more away, to say, hey, could you take an extra 5% or 10% out of my pay each month so I can actually start building up more of a retirement and putting it in things that you might be more interested in. If you wanted more, you put it in portable things. Have that thing. You can make that choice. So, but because it's managed by the school, because it's something that I would have to organize each month and have to kind of, that means that the organization requires that we opt into it. The board would have to say, yes, we think this is something that we want to offer to our staff. And
it's optional for the staff to opt into it. It's just available if they choose, right?
Yeah.
It's free.
There's not a charge from school other than my time. It's like, it comes out of someone's salary. So it costs something, but then theoretically you get more back when you retire. And so, there's the requirement though that we, as that you as a board, approve us, the school signing. And I think there's even in here is a very specific, the board agrees to the following. Let's see if I can find that. So this is the resolution for inclusion under the State of Oregon Deferred Compensation Plan. That would, we would say that KCA provides a part that be it resolved that the proper officers are authorized and directed to take actions related to this. Be it resolved that the employer agrees to be bound by the terms and conditions of any contracts. Be it further resolved the employer shall submit a certified copy of this resolution. Be it further resolved that the governing body and employer recognize the PERS board, and it's actually sort of administered under PERS, so it's kind of connected. Recognize PERS board's responsibility for maintaining the integrity of the plan, and hereby agree to cooperate fully with the plan administrator in accordance with procedures established by the Public Employee Retirement System, etc. So, I guess I'm asking for a resolution that the board adopts this resolution and allows us to proceed with offering this as something to our staff. And probably including in that resolution, designating someone as the signee, the designated person to sign everything on behalf. I do believe that Jack indicated that a board member needs to sign, like a chairperson, and then also going forward that someone like me could be designated to be dealing with, signing things.
Okay.
So then that meaning that, for instance, I could be the designated signee and you and I could sign it together when we do our finance review stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I would motion to approve the resolution to adopt the Oregon Seed.
Resolution.
I would second that. Are we
Any
all,
discussion?
any discussion? Any thoughts?
Seems good. Yeah.
All in favor?
That's it.
Or, yeah, okay.
And to be clear, are we resolving that Mindy will represent the board and then I will represent any like more human resources aspects or?
That is how I intended my motion to sound.
That is what I second to.
And is that what everyone,
I agree with.
everyone agrees?
Yeah.
Okay,
Love it.
thanks, everybody.
So next up, we have appointing the finance committee chair.
Oh, that's also me. According to our bylaws, the board chairperson appoints the chair of the committee.
Okay.
And I would like to, I believe I can make a resolve. I think we discussed that our first year that teacher leaders can make resolutions to the board even if they're not on the board. I would like to make a motion that the chair and board support Kenny Hauk as the chair of the finance committee. He's been one of the few who's been on the finance committee, even though we didn't have that many meetings, going back more than 2 years, I think. He helped put together our finance rules and regulations our first year. And he has stepped up and offered to chair the committee.
I would second that motion to have Kenny Hauk.
Who's Kenny Hauk? He's one of the old guys from the first year.
He has worked with RCC in what's that program called?
Small
The
business.
small business
development.
small business development, helping small businesses in the Illinois Valley to get grants, to figure out budgets and things. Before we even put our,
He's very knowledgeable.
and I will say, when we were putting together the proposal for the school and I had to sort of create a rough budget, I met with him. You know, we basically utilized his services as a small business, even though we're a nonprofit, but you know, they I worked with him for, I mean, that was before we opened,
Yeah.
getting
they're
his
on
help with all that.
Yeah.
So he's been a supporter,
Yeah.
been a supporter of the school for years.
Even like aside from like doing official budgets and stuff for small businesses, I've seen him on numerous occasions just come in and have
He's
sit
he
down
mentors all
conversations
kinds
with
of
small business owners about like how to kind of, his suggestions for how they might wanna format or how they might wanna start off, or he's been he is an older guy with like a silver curly mullet.
I like that.
Was there a vote? Did we vote?
No, we did
Okay.
not.
You motioned, I seconded, we discussed, are we all in favor?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and for our last item of the day, gang. Backup generator update.
Oh. Hello, everyone. It's November, the end of November. Priced out some things. I have options here. There's, let's see. Tyrone is currently taking a while to get back to me about scheduling to assess, but what he did tell me is that he does solar and he could do backup batteries. So I called about actual generators, cause he'd be a good resource if we wanted to do solar. If we wanted to add more of like, you know, that kind of route. So he's gonna come look at the building and then I talked to someone who's on the coast who just put in a generator backup system for the Ivy Fire Department. She's a nice lady, but they send out an electrician to come, same deal, they come look at your place and they give you a, quote. So they could come on the 17th of this month and look at that, and then their quote could be good for a grant, if you wanna have that all there. Right back to you.
That's okay.
And then the other option, now that's gonna be more like, I have a feeling those two options are gonna be like $20,000 options.
Yeah.
The $11,000 option, if you just wanna buy a power system that will do like, it's for a large home or a small industrial, that's gonna be like 11,000 plus the electrician to put it in.
Now, Melissa today was saying that she thought maybe we should just start with having the duct system cleaned.
Oh, the HVAC?
Uh-huh.
That is something that Boyd mentioned when I talked to him, that there is issues, he said that actually, he thought would be a better use of any money would be to take care of that.
Yeah.
But, so then I looked at cheaper generators, if we just wanted to have a generator that if someone goes and starts, we're looking at like, there's a $6,000 one that will do a whole home. 6,900, sorry, and it's, let's see right now. I don't know what your price range is, there's also for this size building, for backup lights, for the fridge, for the water supply is probably not gonna, there's nothing we can do about that because it's on city water. So you already know.
Yeah, I think too that like the more I think about it and like calm down out of my like there's all this stuff to do brain, like sending the kids home because the power's out is not the end of the world. Yeah, thanks.
Also having, but I mean,
Getting
Having a
them
generator
out
is also not bad.
there's also, a generator, you can run a string of Christmas lights on it,
Yeah.
and your Wi-Fi, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That is just like, you have the gas, and go to the store, get the gas. And
Yeah.
For
Like the one I have in my house.
$600-700.
Yeah.
What size was the 6,000 one that you're looking at?
Let's see. The $6,974 one is from Lowe's. It's a Generac. It's convertible. It is 27,000 watts. Yeah. The next size down is 17,000 watts.
Yeah. Okay.
17.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, 17.
Cool.
And that one was $5,000.
Definitely thanks for doing all of that.
No problem.
Yeah, so because I'm not like the facilities person and Melissa was like, if we're gonna spend that money, we should spend it like
On the
Boyd said
HVAC?
on the HVAC, yeah, which I totally agree
So I can
with.
table this, do you want me to have
Yeah.
people come and still give us quotes, and then we'll have it and I'll meet them here or whatever?
I mean,
Does that cost any money?
Yeah,
Because
If it's
Yeah.
a free thing.
That's a great idea.
Some
If
of them,
it's
I'm sure,
free-
from the coast, they
Yeah,
might want some money,
totally.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They might feel bad for us, cause we're a school,
Yeah,
but,
fingers crossed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tyrone.
I think we
about
get a write-off
charging
if they, leave us a generator,
Yeah.
install it for free.
The one place,
Yeah,
Central
totally.
Point, the other place is the coast of town.
Yeah, if they wanna come and it's not gonna cost anything for them to come to give us a quote.
We
that
are
sounds
renting the
reasonable.
building, that's the other thing. How
Right, it
much-
doesn't belong to us, that's one of the reasons why the cameras aren't wired in, which makes,
So this kind of thing is gonna
So
cost
much more
Dennis $1,000, and that's Dennis, our local guy doing it.
Yeah.
$1,000 to wire one of these Generac ones into, so it's
So this might not even be a
automatically clicks
thing.
on.
that we even have like authority to be doing right now. Since we don't own the book.
Just so you know, it's like
No,
10
yeah,
grand,
totally, yeah, totally understand,
or having a small, okay, so.
or just like sending them home. Because the power's out.
maybe that's the solution.
just keeping glow sticks on hand and,
Lucy lights.
yeah. So cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, that's still, if eventually if we do own our own building, that's
Yeah,
probably
it's
great.
definitely one I know. I will call it.
And that's a lot of work to like look up and call and like compare prices, that kind of thing, like,
That's the
Drain.
stuff you do.
yeah, thanks, I really appreciate that. And Lucy, an HVAC system is like, it's like an air purifying, like central air and heat kind of system that like sucks the air in, it filters it. Usually you seal the building, like seal it, like watertight from the outside so that it's not pulling the air in from the outside. It's one of the reasons why it's safer to be inside in
Like a
more
spaceship.
contemporary buildings, like a spaceship. Exactly. Yeah, they're extremely expensive though. Do you remember when the expansion at the Dome School got completed?
Yes.
The most expensive part of the expansion was the HVAC system for the new rooms. And when you close the doors, it was like sealed.
Oh, I do know. What you're talking about.
Cool. That's done.
Okay,
Is that-
January 5th, seems so
looks
far
like
away.
we've
from now.
gotten through our stuff, it's like 25.
And then is that January 15th, is that, I didn't even look at your guys' class schedule, is that still during your break?
First day of school.
First day
And
of
is
school.
that
First day of
day?
school, okay.
Intensives?
No, we're still in fall semester.
Yeah, because we have a whole week and then,
So then, yeah, our next meeting is January,
yeah.
Which
4:30.
We have a whole
4:30.
school
Be there, be square.
after.
you better be round.
I will. Man, what is that, less than an hour?
Catch up.
Are we adjourned?
Meeting adjourned, 5:25.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Wait, so you get,